All right, what's going on, everyone? We are live for the Firekeepers 400, Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan International Speedway. The third to last race in the NASCAR regular season. The playoff bubble race is pretty close. We had Austin Dillon rough some fenders last week. Could he do the same today? It's going to be NASCAR world's going to blow up if that happens. But we'll see what happens. But my race prediction, I'm putting that in the chat. All right, so I predict that Ryan Blaney is going to win this race today. Reason why I have Ryan Blaney, this is a super speedway, and he's been great. Team Penske and Ford has been great on the super speedways. This is not like Talladega or Daytona, but the Fords know how to get it done in Michigan, and that's why I think Ryan Blaney is going to win today. Weather could be a factor today, so the race could end up being short, or it may end up being a delay, and we may not have it till it may get delayed till Monday too. So who knows what's going to happen?
There is going to be at least one driver that will get it based on points. But points have never been tighter in the history of the playoffs. You see them tied right now at the cutoff line.
And none of these guys can feel safe. And you think about Ty Gibbs a few weeks ago, he was in pretty good shape. Chastain, he was in good shape about a month ago. Now all of them in this incredible battle. Every lap speed matters, every pit stop matters, every restart matters. The pressure's on.
Well, it makes it even a bigger challenge. Is I think that win from Austin Dillon a week ago, while it didn't put it in the playoffs with the penalty, it kind of opened everyone's eyes that it can happen.
So let's look at the top 10 starting grid. So because qualifying was rained out yesterday, they went by practice speeds in qualifying. So we got Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, row 1. Row 2, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. Row 3, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott. Row 4, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, my prediction. And William Byron and Austin Dillon in row 5. Interestingly, Austin Dillon, for 2 weeks in a row, has qualified in the top 10. Can he prove that he has winning speed and prove that RCR has went back on track like they did last week? We'll have to see. But now, since NASCAR has penalized him, it's a must-win for him that he's got to win this race to get in. And so do other drivers like Kyle Busch and others. Still on pace laps, so there's still a little bit of time before the race begins.
As we see the lights back on the pace car. Congratulations to Alan Gustafson, the crew chief of Chase Elliott tonight. Today is the 700th start on top of the pit box, and he's won races with the biggest of the bigs, right? Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Kyle Busch. He's won with Chase Elliott. His whole career at Hendrick Motorsports is 700 starts. That's dog years, man. That's a lot of starts for Alan. It's not any year. Dang.
Hey, one more driver to keep an eye on today is the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He'll start outside of row number 4. You see him just edging to the outside there for a little look right now. And as we get a few sprinkles here on pit road, that is very interesting. Blaney will be trying to win at Michigan. And on a track like this, they've been good lately. It's, according to crew chief Jonathan Hasser, probably one of their toughest tracks to get it right as a company. But they feel like they've been making improvements, and they think Ryan will have a good shot today. He's a driver that can adapt. He's proven that. He's the reigning Cup Series champion.
Well, Dave, I don't think we're supposed to say the word reigning, but it's a possibility. But we are being told by NASCAR that they're going to spell different reigning than what he used. But they're going to bring him on the pit road. There is some precipitation in the area.
All right, report by NASCAR. They are bringing the cars on pit road because of precipitation in the area. It is raining a little bit on the camera, so understandably the reason why NASCAR is bringing them down for the red flag. Remember, Rain affected the Xfinity race yesterday. It didn't affect the finish because they got it dry and they got back going, and Allgaier won the race. And we saw that blowover by, I think, Kyle Sieg had that accident yesterday.
Look back on that, and this was back in 2021. And we do something with
Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the radar right now for you guys.
Frustrated Kyle Busch at the time.
Okay, that radar doesn't tell me anything.
What happened to the car when they tried to get the race started with that precipitation that they didn't actually see until those cars got into that turn.
Yeah, and you can see the drops on the camera. And on that race in New Hampshire, we sit right next to NASCAR, and it was ready to eat, right? And so it's just a great example of how we're trying to do that better.
All right, so weather forecast. Here we go.
On to pit road. Again, a little precipitation in the area. We'll get this one started here pretty soon.
No, I don't want to see the ad. Okay, for some reason this is being stupid and it's not one to show the radar. This is pretty annoying.
Because everyone has something they're saving for.
Okay, come on. I want to see the radar. Please work.
For a fancy vacation. Or party supplies.
I don't know the Michigan area that well, so I'm having a hard time trying to find where they're racing at.
Our savings buckets help you save for what matters most to you.
$5 all-you-can-eat pancakes are back at IHOP for a limited time, or free with select combo purchase. Now you can get stacks on stacks. At IHOP, we don't just put food on your plate; we put a smile on your plate.
All right.
Space with a mid-century makeover at
So yeah, the race hasn't started yet because of weather. Of course, there's been so many races this year that's been affected by weather. So many. I mean, we've had like tons of races in a row that have been affected by weather. I mean, we ended up finishing them somehow. But it's just insane. Probably the only one we didn't finish due to weather this year was Charlotte, the Coca-Cola 600. Christopher Bell won that race, by the way.
Guaranteed to fit every time. So you can keep your riding battle alive. At the Jeep Make This the Summer event, you can take a vacation for payments on the most capable Wrangler ever. Our most affordable SUV, Jeep Compass. The only open-air pickup, Jeep Gladiator. And the most awarded SUV ever, Jeep Grand Cherokee. Hurry into your Jeep brand dealer and make the most out of summer with great deals.
Okay, I should be able.
During the Jeep Make This the Summer event, get $6,000 total cash allowance, plus no monthly payments for 90 days on 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland in summer.
Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right? I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own.
Once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Where the track is located is the Irish.
Okay, honestly, it looks like.
To be
Okay, it shows.
beautiful areas all around this racetrack that you can go visit, and they
Let's
have
see.
been enjoying the lakes.
Be 2:30 Eastern.
And we know that
Oh man, it shows a cell going through.
here in Michigan today, we experienced it. Fans
Shows a cell going through right now
to this racetrack.
between like for like a half an hour.
Very fast racetrack,
But yeah, it's a lot of rain. I don't think we're gonna get racing today.
But right now, all of the cars are on pit road. That's because a little bit of rain is passing through the area right at this time. So we're hoping that when this passes through, we can see the different lines that are somewhat heading in our.
Yeah, it's all like it's like rain, but it's all chopped up. It's kind of annoying. Like it'll rain, then it'll stop. It'll rain, then it'll stop. We gotta have it a continuous time period where it's not raining, so we can drive the track where it is race to go on.
This is a big start. 700 starts, the most of any crew chief at Hendrick Motorsports. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's a staggering number. It's just hard to fathom 700 starts. It doesn't feel like that. I think that's a good thing. It's been it kind of flown by. It's been an amazing experience, and yeah, looking to make it a great day for the rain.
And just a few more than Steve Lachart?
What Steve got, like 20 or 30?
Yeah, maybe that. I don't know.
Steve's a little fair weather.
So what do you think when we get going here? We got this rain cell that's coming over. What do you guys expect today for this 9-car here at Michigan?
Yeah, the car was good yesterday with the little practice we had. Just wanted to cast.
So yeah, rain right now. But I guess since we're waiting on the race to start, I will read the starting grid once again. So we got Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, row 1, row 2, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, row 3, row 4, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Austin Dillon, your top 10, rounds it off in row 5. Row 6, we got Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Josh Berry, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, Todd Gilliland's in 20th. 21st, Chase Briscoe. 22nd, Alex Bowman. 23rd, Austin Cindric. 24th, Martin Truex Jr. 25th, Noah Gragson. 26th, Ryan Preece. 27th, Zane Smith. 28th, Eric Jones. 29th, Justin Haley. 30th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 31st, Corey LaJoie. 32nd, Daniel Hemrick. 33rd, John Hunter Nemechek. 34th, Harrison Burton. Allmendinger, 35th. And 36th, Cody Ware. So that's your entire starting grid for today's race if we get started today. They were on pace laps for like a few laps, and then they brought them back.
What an incredible crew chief and mentor he has been to so many there in motorsports. Marty, you got another crew chief.
I do, Rick, and we're going to be embedded with Ross Chastain and his race team during stage 2 today. We'll chat with Phil Surgeon.
And let's see, sunset time for Brooklyn, Michigan. That's where they're racing at.
It seems like you've delivered him that speed. Do you think this is the best car you guys have had at the racetrack and their best shot at it in a while?
Yeah, practice felt really good for us. Set fast pace, but also drivability was good.
So 8:32 p.m. is sunset time for Brooklyn, Michigan. So maybe if these showers somehow go away, maybe we can get racing. But, oh, man, that's a bummer. You're all hyped up for this race, and then there's weather. Now, the reason why they can't race in the rain here, it's a 2-mile track. High speeds. It'd be dangerous for these stock cars to be racing around here at high speeds in the weather. Now, this was like a short track like we were at last week, Richmond, New Hampshire, for example. They would be able to race in the rain.
We're focused on winning, collecting the most points for ourselves, and that'll get us where we need to be.
How does that work internally? Do you assign someone to just
So that's how that works.
What they're doing, kind of listen to what their plan might be. How do you play that during the race?
Yeah, the tools are so sophisticated that we have now, whether it's the radio transcriptions and the timing and scorings and the ability to look at their pit strategy and know what they're doing in real time. It's there all the time. It's accessible to us every week.
All right, let's talk about Michigan. Is there maybe more pit strategy available to a crew chief than people might think when we look at a Michigan race?
Yeah, we've looking back at the last 2 Michigans, the fields flipped front to rear twice in both those races. So untimely cautions can really dictate what happens throughout the day. And teams will have to make the choice today whether you want to capitalize on stage points or position yourself better for the next stage. And we'll be in that boat likely today, and hopefully we can come out and get in.
Sometimes you have how long to make that decision? Under a minute to maybe make the decision that could, get you the points you need to maybe get you in the playoffs or not?
Yeah, absolutely. When caution comes out, you got to make that. It's a split-second decision, less than a minute most of the time. Fortunately, with the group I got on the
there's like,
today and at the shop, we talked
it shows on the future forecast. There's a lot of rain in the area. See, we're at 2:30 right now. It's a smaller cell. Maybe we'll get some racing in later this afternoon, and it may become up to
races to go. You've got to protect that, but you also are.
Oh man, this is it's gonna be boring with me sitting here for like an hour.
Before, and it came down to a couple of laps at the end of the race, and it was the playoffs in 2022. So yeah, don't take anything for granted. And as you said, I was really strong in practice, and the ultimate goal for here is to try and win the race.
And the strategy thing, it just amazes us because this place has so many options.
All right, if you're watching down below, who do you think is gonna win today's race?
And then when you plan those stuff,
I have Ryan Blaney if it ever gets going.
challenge for you guys, right?
So it definitely is, and you got to factor in, how much fuel you need to take on each time. Just try and minimize the total pit road. So it's a balance of having clean track, clean air, and having the cautions flow your way because you think you might be on the right strategy, and all of a sudden it comes out that they.
So yeah, so I'll read some. How about I read some track facts for you for this Michigan race?
For the veteran, how do you feel about the car speed-wise, balance-wise?
Yeah, really good. He was, quite happy with it. Still, a few things we need to change to make it better, but overall, I feel like we look to be one of the best cars in the field. So hopefully it translates to today.
How good is your weather predictions?
Well, I have the same radar everybody else has. And
All right, so
look at it over there, and that's where it's coming from. And I think it's going to rain pretty heavy.
let's see.
And, we'll see how we get going again before it comes again. So, yeah, it could be a long day.
Mind if I stay here and just do some engineering for you?
Yeah, if you can.
No, he's not that.
No. We can stop working on next week.
And that's what they do. The work never stops for you guys.
Okay, so the driver right now with the highest average finish at Michigan, or in the recent races in Michigan, is Chase Elliott. He has an average of 10.2, and he has raced here 13 times. He hasn't won any races here, but he has, in the history of him racing in Michigan, he has 3 top 5s, 10 top 10s, 12 top 20s. So this is a great track for Chase Elliott, and he's only DNF'd here once. Now, the driver in the field with the most wins here in Michigan are Joey Logano and Kyle Larson, tied with 3 apiece. Denny Hamlin's in second with 2 wins. And Kyle Busch has also gotten a win here before. Is this today where he can get a win and go into the playoffs?
We mentioned points and how that affected the point standings. This was before the penalty. You see Austin Dillon was up there in 13th and Mark Truex Jr. 78 points above the cut line. Then after the penalty on the right side, Mark Truex Jr. is actually 13th and still 78 points above. But you look at 0 points separating Buescher and Ross Chastain right there at the cut line.
When I look at these points, right, Mark Truex Jr. with a good run today, I didn't put the stress behind him. He leaves here without a new winner. Let's assume we don't have a new winner, which could absolutely happen. Wallace, Buescher, Chastain, all good in practice. Right, Truex, he can run well, he feel good about the points, but everyone below him has to keep paying it. And now, even with a new winner, though, then I think Truex has to start, asking himself, is it going to turn around?
Margaret, sounds as though you have caught up with the 54 team and Chris Gale.
Yes, I have. And if you saw there, 18 points to good. And that was not the case, Chris. Just a couple races ago, you guys were in a way better points position, but through engine failures and bad finishes, you now find yourself in this position. How do you turn it around?
I think you go back to focusing on what we did before to have the speed and get the finishes we did, right? Like we've talked about it, you and I, Sonoma on for us was a really bad stretch. We only had one of those 6 races where we finished and got the finish we deserved, right, points-wise, and left 107 points on the table.
All right, so here's what I'll do.
Some not within our control, but I think we had good speed in all but Richmond. So I think
Now, I at least have to be here for the first hour.
Control the things we can control and get the most points we can. Obviously, it's tight now, tighter than we ever want to be. So we just take it a race and a stage by time, one at a time. How many points can we get this stage? What can we do next to secure points? And I think we just get back on the horse and do that consistently, and everything will take care of itself.
With Daytona next week, how important is this today?
Yeah, I mean, right? Like we said, there's 4 spots open on points, right? There could be a new winner. Next week is probably the one that everyone's most concerned with, a wild card winner outside of
these top 12 guys that are already locked in. So it is what it is. I think that's why we need to be like the second part points, right? We need to get enough points in order to feel like we're the second guy who's sitting there. We get it on points, and that way, in case there's only 3 of us, it is what it is. And I think we're focused on today, and we'll worry about Daytona next week.
You heard it, guys. They have the confidence, they've had the speed, we just need to get those finishes. Well, unfortunately, you see in the background, the rain has come, and it is raining hard, but Chris Gale, he is a really good crew chief. I have a lot of respect for him.
Let's see about the weather, though.
A lot of inexperience, though, at dealing with these things at this level. Ty Gibbs only 21 years old, and he has speed. That is not the question whether he
Let's
has
see.
speed, but
So at 2 o'clock it has it raining. At 5 o'clock it has it raining. But it seems like tomorrow it's a nice day. So honestly, maybe better if they run this race tomorrow. At least I have an online class. I don't have to miss this race. Well, if they didn't have it in the morning, I wouldn't miss it because my classes are only in the morning. But it's a bummer.
But there have been some down stretches. Now he's clawed his way out. He's kind of stayed off the radar. Remember, this is a young man who had some run-ins in Xfinity. Found himself at the wrong end of media at times, wrong end of some of these conversations. I thought he's done a really nice job of cleaning all that up. He leaves it all on the racetrack. I think that's the maturity that we're talking about, Jeff, and being in the pressure of now the race to make the playoffs, and then if you can get in, the pressure of the playoffs.
And you know yourself, you and I both been in these situations where when you're getting finishes, it just feels normal, right? And you don't even all the time know how you were doing it. It was just happening. And then when it quits happening, you're like, okay, what are we doing wrong? And that's where you start second guessing, almost thinking too much, and almost waiting for something to happen. And that is what every driver, I don't care if they're 21 years old or 42 years old, that's what you have to learn to deal with.
We will also be embedded with the 21 team and driver Harrison Burton. We talked about youth, just 20 years old, out of Harrison Burton. And he's closing in
what to do. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, you're not really missing anything. We got a rain delay. Or if I remember from last year, this race did get rained out today. I mean, not rained out today. It got rained out last year. Then they had to race it on a Monday.
Well, it was a pep talk by a 43-year-old, and then it was reality. So, and that's what's happening right now as far as all of these teams are realizing that a lot of rain just came down. And so we're seeing the jet dryers go out there. The air tundras are headed out to the track now. They're going to try to get this dried off so that Harrison can climb back behind the wheel of 21.
You mentioned nearing 100 starts. I really think that's, for me, that's kind of like when I start to judge performance on the racetrack. I think for 100, it takes 100 starts to realize what Sundays are like. We talk a lot about the differences between Xfinity and Cup. This argument happens all the time. What's the difference between college football and pros, right? What is that step? What makes it so much more difficult? And in Sundays, every car out there is a position that's hard to go by, right? Very few mistakes are made. Everything's harder to come by. And I think it takes 100 starts to figure that out. Now, for Harrison, he's going to have to figure out what next year looks like. We know there's a change.
Yeah, they got the jet dryers out right now.
I think, I've seen some upsides with the car. Now, there's been some kind of head-scratching moments where I thought the car should have better pace, but the Cup Series it was best described as I once caught the deep end of the pool, and the driver told me it was more like getting thrown in the ocean. Instead of the deep end of the pool, you know which way to swim. But so when you get thrown in the ocean, you don't even know which way the shore is.
But when you're a young driver and things aren't going well, it's really a struggle. Like, where am I missing it? What am I doing wrong? And then it's very difficult, even for the team, right? Are we not building good cars? The driver not doing his job, it becomes very difficult. And that's where, and this team has done that. They've stayed together. Even though you mentioned that Harrison's not coming back next year, they've not given up on each other. And I think that's important. And it is hard. And not everyone has success right off. And how you deal with that
right? For crew chiefs, drivers, tire changers. This is very competitive. If you don't get it done, you're not going to have your position. Then you got to go back, rework, figure out how to get back. But it's just a very difficult, very, very competitive sport, which is how it should be.
And to put some perspective to 100 starts, both Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott wanted to start 99. Right. So think of that. These are both championship careers. So,
Well, guys,
level of the guys that you kind of
I'm going to get off of here, I guess.
Right, they're out there doing it. 99 starts.
Not really much to talk about during the rain delay, so I'll see you all later whenever the race starts up again. I'll be back on here. All right. See you.